Yeah. Welcome! We are doing our show that we've done a couple times a long time ago. Probably everybody forgot about it. And it's called Project Real Talk. And that's where we talk about entertainment, movies, TV shows, whatever, and kind of apply it to life today and really dive into it. And today we are talking about the hit Apple show, Pluribus. If you haven't seen it and you're not going to, stick around. It's going to be entertaining. If you want to watch it, press pause, watch it, come back. We are talking about the first 6 episodes. That's what has come out so far. There's going to be 9 total. It's been picked up for a second season, but we're going to dive into the first 6. And it is a sci-fi show. If you like Severance, I would think you would love Pluribus. And if you just like really good storytelling, I cannot recommend it enough. So I hope you have the Apple Network and you can watch the show. And I'm with my new friend, Brice Williams. I literally just met him, a week or 2 ago when he called me.
Yeah.
We have a shared thing of trying to stop LifeWise. That's how we met, right? And then somehow we started texting and you were watching Pluribus. I was like, could you finish it and catch up and we can do a show? And you're like, what? Okay.
Nothing bonds better than hatred for Christian nationalism. Nothing at all. Right?
You're so right. That is such a true statement. So how are you? And thank you for being on the show.
Oh, I'm great. I'm great, Sarah. Thank you for having me. Seriously, this is probably my first podcast. I say probably because I used to have a little bit of a past when it came to boozing, so we'll see. But
I'm proud of you. You are recovering, right?
Yes, I am.
I'm very proud of you, my friend.
Thank you so much. Are we saying spoiler or no spoiler on this?
So we are going to be doing spoilers. We're not going to do like a deep dive of all 6 episodes or anything, but we're going to be talking about all 6 episodes. So if you don't want to watch the show, you can listen. If you want to watch the show and don't want it spoiled, I would not watch anymore.
Okay, Pitchfork Mafia, do you hear us? Spoilers are abound, okay? Put those down, all right?
Yeah, and don't take the thing out of the grenade, the pin. Even if you think it's fake, okay?
Yeah.
So because I was like, Carol,
we'll get to that. Why that's important.
I would not be doing that whether I thought it was a prop or not. Difference of personalities there.
No, I was always taught discipline, trigger discipline. Don't point at anything unless you're going to shoot at it.
Right. Even if it's safety on the safety or it's fake. Yeah.
Safety on the safety. Absolutely.
So this show is by Vince Gilligan. He did Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. And the main character, Carol, is from Better Call Saul, right?
Carol is old Slippin' Jimmy's sometimes girlfriend, sometimes best friend. If you haven't seen Better Call Saul, there won't be any spoilers here. Just know that she is freaking awesome.
Yeah, so her name is Ray Seahorn. She is a phenomenal actress in Pluribus, and it's mostly her. And so I didn't know what this show was about when I first started watching it. I just saw a really brief preview of it looked like the president was talking to her when she was on the couch and she's watching TV. And I was like, oh, this looks good. And that was all I needed to see to be like, want it. Also, I loved Severance. Did you like Severance? Did you watch it?
I saw the first season of Severance. I'm a little behind on Severance. I loved it.
Second season's different.
Okay.
But I liked it.
The thing about what Apple TV, I commend what they're doing. They are taking some really big swings. They're taking some huge chances on some really abstract TV. They're going the HBO route.
They also don't pump out new shows as much as some of the other platforms, but when they do pump out a show, it's usually really good. So I like a lot of Apple shows. And they're not Apple Plus anymore. I think they went to Apple. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's confusing,
but I can't keep up with that.
I can't either. But
merging here, changing name there. It's
so this show would be considered sci-fi.
I would say
Yeah. So in the first episode is very different from the other episodes. The first episode, she is living her regular life. She's getting done with a book tour. She is a famous author of, what would you categorize the
romanticy, big time.
but
It's
it's
almost
like,
no, actually it's almost like a historical fiction
yeah,
romance.
historical fiction
Yeah,
romance, maybe with
right.
magic and stuff in it too.
You know
Yeah, I
those
think it has.
Crescent City books,
I
those
think it's
books?
sort of like Game of Thrones ish.
Yeah.
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 So
It's
I mean,
I think it's got a little bit
but
more
more,
fluff than that, right?
yeah,
I
more
think it's
romance.
smut,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So she is like very popular in that genre, and she's finishing up a book tour, and you don't realize it at first, but her one partner that is with her is her wife.
Right.
And that's also like her assistant, and they do this together, and they're at a book tour in a big bookstore, and the fans adore her. I mean, like, worship her, and they are
Mhm.
bringing, like, they're like, I had this sword made just like the one of the main guy character, and she's like acting like she's really into it, and then you see later Carol
Right.
she doesn't like being an author of a
Yeah.
famous of this famous fluff. She'd rather write more serious stuff, but that doesn't sell. And she's also like a really negative person,
Right.
which I want to talk about sometime, because I thought that was sad, because she's clearly very smart and moral and like had a rough life and
Mhm.
stuff, but
Mhm.
then she's very not happy, like in her regular life, where she makes
Right.
a lot of money and gets to be with
Yeah.
her wife on tour.
There's some darkness going on there that we haven't really unpacked. That that's the thing, is like what I tend to do to my detriment when I watch a show is I already have like an opinion on a person before it gets really fleshed out. Don't go into this show when you watch it with your already made up opinion on who this is. You're
Yeah, because
living in
I
her
love
head a
Carol.
lot.
I love her,
Yeah,
even though she's
right,
super negative, and I feel like she is completely taking advantage of how nice her life was. I love her, and
right.
I kind of like that at
Well, she's
Project Rice. I kind of have,
necessary. Yeah,
I kind of think it's really important for all of us to try not to judge, because we haven't walked in their shoes.
right.
You know what I mean? So
Correct.
yeah, she would
Correct.
be a
Yeah.
person that society would judge as a very negative person they wouldn't want to be around. That's sort of the premise of the show, that this character isn't likable and is very negative, which I didn't honestly think that. I just thought she didn't know how to appreciate what she had. um but then you also see the sci-fi aspect of it, of there's some code that scientists pick up that's coming from space, and
Right,
they
right.
like,
At the very beginning, you've got
yeah,
this kind of the SETI search for extraterrestrial intelligence, kind of word salad, and you got kind of like that Jodie Foster contact people that are over there that
yeah,
are like, oh, we just found a transmission. This is weird. Okay,
yeah,
so
and it's like,
that immediate, right, yeah,
it's like something
and
like
that
that.
started before the Carol story even gets
Right.
introduced. So what I love about that is that it leads us into the paranormal, the sci-fi. Something is really weird here. Buckle up, but then we go back to normal with
Yeah.
Carol's story.
And you
Before that,
see, yeah, so you see they figure out what it is, and they make it. They make
right,
it in like a lab, and then they start
correct,
injecting it in animals, and they think they're
right,
not going anywhere, and then a rat bites through the glove of a scientist, and that's the start of it. And as soon as that happens, everybody starts getting infected, and then, like, they kiss each other to get infected, which later on that changes, and it becomes much easier to infect everybody, which I thought is pretty interesting. But
I got a
like,
question about that, by the way. So everybody's supposed to be in this lovey utopian mindset, right? Why the biting? Isn't biting a form of aggression?
that is a good point, but
Yeah,
maybe
I
in
just thought of that,
rats,
right?
maybe in rats, it's it's different than, yeah, that's a good point, because yeah, the first initial one was violent. I
Right.
think you
And
just
that's
came
why
up with
they
a
kiss
bigger,
each other to spread
yeah.
it because it's
And
all
it's
about
super
love.
creepy, because you
Yeah.
think they're gonna turn into like zombie scary people, and they get
Right.
real smiley.
Yeah.
Like, the
Yeah.
show is a what is that cup called, the science thing? What are those called? Petri dish. The show
Sure.
is the
Yeah.
petri dish with a smiley face put into it. And
So,
then
folks,
it's
this
like,
is it goes Michael Crichton, like hardcore Michael Crichton in the very beginning. You feel like you've got an Andromeda strain thing going here. at the
Yeah.
time while Carol's story is going on too. So you got lead character introduced, huge pandemic's about to happen, but it's a weird pandemic. It's a
It's a
joyous
weird
pandemic.
pandemic.
It's
Yeah.
not a,
And then they're like,
people are
they're
dying.
affecting everybody in the
Right.
building, and they're like licking glazed donuts. And then they're like, they all of a sudden stop talking, and they all know how to work together.
Right.
And they go into the lab and they take the petri
Yeah.
dishes, and one of them's getting saliva, and then they're putting it in, and then they're packaging it up, and then they're going to send it out.
Right.
So you see the spread of it, but they don't talk, and they're all doing it in this synchronized, almost dance type thing. And I listened to the Apple.
Yeah.
I listened to the Apple Pluribus podcast, which I recommend if you're a super fan of the show. And they said the way they did this, they had, they hired a choreographer to plan it, and they put a request for people. It didn't matter what you look like, but you needed to have some form of balance, dance, body awareness. You needed to be really good with your body and be able to take direction, because all these people are doing these movements together. And so I thought that was really cool. And they said that sequence was super hard to film. Also, I found out they put in a ton of money to make this show, which you can tell it looks like a really expensive movie.
The budget's crazy.
The budget's
they
crazy.
Shut the grids off and turn the grids on. Yeah, it's pretty wild. And you know what makes sense if you ever follow Vince Gilligan? I'm a huge Vince Gilligan fan. I'm an absolute just love what he does. He's a big 40s and 50s movie fan. So there's a little bit of that Gold Diggers of 1939, like the dance numbers that they used to have back in the 1930s.
So it's more old school type Hollywood sometimes.
Kind of a callback to that. Yeah,
that's
right.
Interesting. Yeah, because this is my first Vince Gilligan show where I really got into it. I appreciate what he seems very talented, but I really like the plot of the show. So then flash forward, people are getting infected, but we really don't know about it. It's happening quietly. Then you go to Carol and her wife finished the tour. They're at a bar about ready to head home in Arizona, right? New Mexico? Where is it?
New Mexico, Albuquerque.
New Mexico.
Yeah.
Albuquerque. Good job. And that's when all of a sudden it's the world being taken over. So all of a sudden,
because when they have that initial sickness, right? Before they conform to the hive part, it's almost like their body and their brain gets it's like it restarts.
Yeah,
it's
reboot
almost like
or something.
Download.
Yes,
right. So people are dying.
All of a sudden, everybody's like, they look like they're dying or they're having seizures and they're shaking, and it takes a couple minutes, and then some of them die, and most of them come back. Carol's wife dies, and you find out later on, you find out around 1 billion people didn't survive the initial takedown. So
she died on the accident. She fell down and cracked her head. That's because they were able to. That's how they have so much stuff about her, because they were able to hive in. They were able to hack in to her brain and get all her memories, because that's what they're doing, so they could have like this shared intellect, this shared control.
And so everybody's wrecking off the roads. Everybody all of a sudden stops. She tries to go to a hospital. They've all been infected. It's a really creepy, really good first episode, but the rest of the season is not like that first show. It's like every episode is very different.
I love that. That there's calls to the stand. There's calls to this whole the world is crashing around me, and it's gorgeous. The set design is crazy.
Yeah,
you can tell
it really is.
In.
Yeah, I thought it was really fascinating. I totally saw it, and just how scary it would be. And then again, you keep thinking that when the people come out of the infection that they're going to be scary, and they're not, but they know everything. It's the hive mind. So they know everything that has ever been thought by all the people that had this happen to them. So each person, and they can all talk to each other like ants in a colony.
Right. Like an 8-year-old can do cardiac surgery.
Yes. An 8-year-old knows everything that any human that was alive at that moment knew.
And it's so collective, right? It really is. It's everybody for their own purpose. And then the next episode, what happens is they bring a woman from some Middle
really far
Eastern
away, like Middle
country.
Eastern country. Yeah.
Right. As she gets on a plane, like she rides a she gets
Zoja.
out, she helps somebody out of a car, she rides a motorcycle, she gets on a plane,
She flies
and
the giant plane.
she flies the giant plane. She goes and showers and everything, and
She
you
goes to the
just see
airport.
the
They're
whole
waiting for her. She
right.
she takes a shower. She puts on new clothes. She goes there, and then you find out the hive tried to pick the best person to communicate to Carol, who was not infected. For some
And,
reason,
yeah,
this virus did not work on Carol. Okay.
right.
And so Carol is very freaked out. She just saw the awful stuff happen to her. You find out she's a former or recovering or current alcoholic, because her car is one you have to blow into to get it to start. So you find out some little bits and pieces about Carol. You see that she's very not
Yeah.
happy with her life, even though she makes a good amount of money and she's a famous author. And then so you find out some bits, and you also find out that she loves her wife because she does everything she can to try to save her, and she brings the body back to their house. And
Mhm.
so then you're like, well, what's happening? Well, this woman that traveled far in a creepy manner comes and talks to her, and she talks
Yeah,
back to
I
her.
know. Right.
And they say
Yeah.
we when they speak. They don't say, well, I thought I would be a non-threatening person. They're like, we thought. And that's like, you're
Yeah.
realizing they're all together. So they're only really speaking when they speak to someone not infected. And then Carol finds out she's not alone. There's like 12 maybe. At first they think is
12
11.
others. Yeah. Right.
And then there's
11
12.
show up. One
And then they
hasn't been
find
able
one.
to be found. Right.
Right. So there's just very few humans that weren't infected, but she's not the only one, and only like half of them can speak English. So she goes and meets them, and so anyway, we won't go in too much into all of the plot of it, but we just want to make sure you understood. So we got this creepy hive mind, but the hive mind is nice and
Very.
peaceful, and
Yes.
they know all about Carol because any human that ever interacted with Carol knows her. They've read her books. Like so they immediately smile at her and say, hi, Carol, we're so sorry about your wife. Like, do you want some food? What can we do for you? And then a creepy thing happens when Carol talks to the woman that comes to her, Zoja.
Soja,
First
yeah.
they first she realizes they picked a woman that she would be attracted to. She goes and gets one of her books and holds it up to her, and it looks like the male character in a female version.
Yeah, it looks like the main pirate from the books that
So
she
she
wrote.
calls her
It's like,
pirate lady, which is pretty
yeah,
funny.
right. I
Yeah,
thought
I
that
like
was
that
a
part.
nice little flourish
I think
there.
that's the
Yeah.
name of the episode too. And
Yeah.
yeah, so that's really funny. And then you find out if Carol loses her temper in front of one of these others,
hmm
they seize up, and then
hmm
like a million of them die
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they're doing scary things when they seize up that could cause them to die. So she quickly learns she needs to control her temper because she's grieving too. She just lost her wife and this very scary thing happened, but she can't freak out in front
Untreated
of
alcoholism, losing your spouse, and the world just being a complete like carbon copy of a Christmas cookie cutter, of these just really nice people. She is going through it.
Yeah.
And you don't really see it from that perspective because and when I mean I guess I lean a little bit on the recovery side because she is boozing a lot and she has that problem too, but it's all just she's just a very lonely person, very lost.
Yes. Her main person just died. That was her
Yeah,
person.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And what was interesting is some of the other people, because there's 12 total, some of them have people that are in the hive mind that they love. Like some of them have children or parents or friends that they keep connected. And
Right.
so it really changes the outlook of what do you think about it when they still have people in the hive mind, and they can those others can kind of act like that person because they have that knowledge in their brain, but they can't fully do it. And so it's
Mhm.
like, is that them? when it's
And for all you
everybody
Lord
on
of
the
the Rings
planet.
fans out there, it's kind of like a Council of Elrond that happens in Spain. They meet up with everybody, and then everybody has their own little take on why they feel like this might be a good thing. So there's like the socioeconomic view of why this takeover, where everybody's nice and everybody's gracious, might be a good thing. And
Yes.
Carol is pretty much all alone, maybe all
Right.
alone, in this
So,
mentality that it's not a good thing.
right. So, like at the very beginning, you're like, wait, all crime is stopped. All
Mhm,
racism done,
mhm.
gone. Everybody's working together. They all look happy. They're all smiling. And so
Right.
you're like, is this what do you call it? Not dystopian, utopia. Is this a
Utopian. Utopia.
utopia?
Mhm.
And as the show progresses, I keep thinking, obviously, it's not a utopia because they've lost their individual self. Everybody's individual self is completely gone, and they are all in the collective mind of what is good for the collective group. And it's like they're little worker ants working all the time. They don't get to be like, hang on, I want to go watch my favorite show. I want to go swimming right now. There's none of that. They're all working constantly. And if there is a human that didn't get infected nearby, you're doing whatever the human wants. And then
Right.
you start finding out like they can't lie. So Carol's trying to figure out what's going on because they don't really lie. They can sometimes not tell you something, but they don't lie and they don't harm her. And they try to give her food and stuff. And there's a creepy thing where they turn off the electricity to help save the environment, except for like the humans that want the electricity.
Mhm. Yeah.
And like one time she doesn't want people to bring her food. She wants to go to her grocery, but she goes to her grocery and
Oh, the
there's nothing
Sprout scene
there.
was great. I
And
love the
so she
Sprout scene.
calls, they have a number she can call. So she calls
Yeah.
the number and she says, I would like to shop at this grocery. And immediately, within like minutes, trucks arrive and people fill the grocery up and then they leave and then she can go shopping. So I'm sure that scene took a while to film, but
Right, and they had a choreographed type of feel to it, like you had with the science one, like when they're trying to spread
yeah. Those,
the
that's why it's a fascinating show to watch. I highly recommend everybody watch this show. It's
oh
really
yeah.
good. But like I want to talk about the people. So she can ask whatever she wants and they will give it to her. The hive, the
And
we
sometimes
people.
they'll be like, "Are you sure that's?" They
Right.
question it. They
But
will
at
vet
the
it through, like, is that the best possible thing that
they
you
might try to dissuade her, but they'll give her what she wants. So
right?
she like gets it to like, if I wanted an atomic bomb, would you give it to me? And they're like, we try to persuade you. We really try, but yes, if that's what you wanted, we would give it to you. And
Right.
so she's like, man, for you guys being smart, you're missing some stuff, like just say no. But
Yeah.
she flies out. Is it Portugal? I think she flies out to Portugal, maybe.
She goes
Can't
to Las
remember.
or you know, this is before she
The
goes to
first
Las
time, the first time
she
she
goes to
flies in a
Spain.
meeting. Is it Spain? She flies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Balboa, Spain,
Right, right.
and she meets those that speak English, and you meet their families. And
Mhm.
there's a mom that has a kid. The mom didn't change, but the kid did. But she's still pretending it's her kid. I think if I had this happen, I think I would be like that. Yeah, that's still my kid. But
Yeah,
um,
that's interesting, right? Like you come at it from a mother. I don't have any kids, and I that's a really great, interesting. Like if your loved ones are taken over by this, do they still like keep that? There's so much philosophical stuff with this show. It's
and
what I
like
love about it.
the we people, the hive people want to make these 12 humans happy, so they will do what you want. They will role play. So this kid that has all the knowledge of everybody on the planet has the knowledge of how that kid was, so he's just pretending to be that kid.
Right,
But
right.
Carol will say, what's the best doctor procedure for this thing? And the kid goes, well, that's a good question. It could be this and this and this. And the mom goes,
That
stop
bothers
it.
me about Carol. So Carol, okay, I get that you don't like it for you, but why are you trying to pop everybody else's balloon? I don't
Well,
really understand.
she wants everybody to quickly get on the same page of, we need to get these humans back. This is wrong. This is bad. We need to stop this. Can we stop it? And she wants to make a team of humans that help her. But does she find do any of them want to work with her and help her figure out what this is?
Well, that's the thing, right? It's like nobody. I mean, she's losing the argument, and then she loses like the companionship that she could pretty much have.
But when
Like,
she loses her temper at
yeah,
that dinner, and
yeah,
so the people that they love that are others shake and they could die, so that really makes them not like her. So
it's
it
the
didn't go
second
as
time.
planned.
So far, the death totals are like what, in the high millions for Carol?
Yes, so
she's killed inadvertently, like
accidentally killed a few million people with this 2 times she's lost her temper, and yeah, but and then a really
do you
interesting
recall
character.
the body count this time?
Yeah, they say it. They say about 1 billion people died with the initial takeover, and they said they had to speed it up because the government was starting to figure it out and trying to contain it, so they had to speed it up. So they were hoping to make it a more slow, gradual virus, but they had to speed it up because of that. And then every time she loses her temper, it's like around 1 million. They say the numbers once.
And this is twice this has happened.
Yes. So I'm assuming every time she loses her temper, it's around 1 million of these hive-minded people die.
God.
Yeah. So such a good premise. Now, I thought a really interesting character was the guy that is like just going to make the best of it.
Diatrib,
yes.
French guy is my favorite character.
Yeah,
he is so 1000% assured of himself, of who he is and what he wants. He doesn't want to hurt anyone, but man, that guy loves his toys and he loves adulation, all this stuff. And
yeah, he really is into the ladies.
He's thriving in this, right?
Yes. So we've got one character that is like, this is the best thing that's ever happened, or he's just like, okay, it's happened. I'm going to live my best life for however long that is. And since they wait on you, since they'll do whatever you want, he like flies in on Air Force One, and they have their first meeting on Air Force One.
Right.
And he's got all these women, these amazing model type women. And the thing is, he's likable. And I listened in that podcast about the show. They said it took them months and months to cast him because they needed someone that you liked, even though they're doing these horrible things, and you can't fake it. You have to like naturally. So they found him. He said he auditioned and waited 5 months. He thought he didn't get it, and then they came back to him. So they were searching for a really long time for this actor. And I like the guy because, again, he's like a womanizer, but he's not mean. He's kind to everybody that's waiting on him, you know?
Oh, no. He's not mean. He is a very hedonistic person. It is all about enjoyment. He believes life is best if tasted, right?
Yes.
Like he's got a card for every day of the week. Like every license plate says a day of the week on it. They're all Ferraris.
Some like fancy sports car, yeah. And he's kind of like a kid, but as an adult. Like he can go along with it. So that's, I think, my favorite episode is the last one, 6, where he's in Vegas and he stays in Elvis's suite at the hotel where Elvis would perform, and it actually was filmed in the suite where Elvis lived, in the hotel where Elvis performed. Yes, except they had redone. It's not the same style. They had redone the hotel a few times since then, but it is the same place. And he has like pictures of himself, but at the beginning of episode 6, it's a whole fantasy James Bond during Elvis's time, Casino Royale. He's playing poker with the guy with the eye patch, and and it's like set up so it's millions of dollars, and he wins, and the girls around him in like amazing dresses. By the way, I love the fashion of that episode.
Sure. Oh yeah,
Gorgeous.
the costumes are awesome.
Yeah, and then like they fall out of character at one time, and he's like, "Stay in character."
Oh right, the guy with the eye patches is happy that he
like,
won.
He's so
like,
happy.
no,
He's
get
like,
back in character,
I made him
man.
happy, and he's like, "Stay in character," and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm mad."
It's got that great dark black comedy feel to it all through. Oh, you forgot something. So the fact that there's before this part happens, to kind of go back, there is when she tries to do that whole truth serum thing.
Yes.
And get on that and get her to kind of like, tell us what's going on, like tell us how to reverse this, right? This is not a good thing.
Yes, so they don't lie to her. So she's always asking Zoja, the woman that's been sent to her, and Zoja's like, I can't tell you. And she's like, yeah, can this be reversed? And she's like, I think it can be reversed. And like Carol's probably a former drug addict, right? Like
I think she has.
I think she knows her way around.
Well, they said that she has used a needle before. Yeah.
Yes, and so she gets some substances, and she practices on herself. She takes them, she puts a camcorder on herself, and then she wakes up and she watches it. And
that's the funniest scene. That's my favorite
that's
scene.
Where you're like, that actress is phenomenal.
She's great.
The acting.
She's talking about just how attractive she is to Zoja. That was just like,
yes, that was at the end, and that's when she was like, "Oh, this is a truth serum. I just gave myself a truth serum. This made me tell the truth," because Carol hadn't really grieved her wife. Well, there's a lot of grieving. There's a lot of crying and grieving and sadness and loneliness when she takes that, and you're watching the filmed coverage of it, and then you're seeing, and she is attractive. She admits to herself that Zoja is attractive. And so that scene's phenomenal. I've never seen anything like it.
Because she wants to see if it works, right? She wants to test it out.
See if this is a true serum. It is a true serum. She had already like asked for a grenade, and Zoja brought it to her. And she takes the pin out and it blows up, and Zoja tries to protect her. And so Zoja has to go to the hospital because it was a real grenade. That's where I'm like, Carol, don't take the pins out of what you think is fake grenades.
Right.
That's when she realized she could ask for atomic bomb.
Carol anything she wants.
They will give her anything. Yeah.
Right. They'll try to talk her out of stuff, but they will give her stuff. Like they feel like they know what's best for her based off of like her history.
Because everybody,
like
everybody knows stuff about her. Yeah. So she has to go
that's
visit.
The last straw, though. When they decide that, okay, we need some space from you.
Well, she gives the truth serum to Zoja.
Right.
And then she asks Zoja the questions, and she makes all the wee people, all the others cry.
She has a heart attack.
And Zoja has a heart attack and almost dies. That's when I was having problems with Carol. I was like, I understand about finding the truth, but I don't think I could like do this to a creature like that. Like that, but I know she wasn't planning on that happening to Zoja, but Zoja just is recovering from the grenade thing. So that was interesting. Yeah. So then she takes a nap in the hospital, and all the others leave her. They leave the whole city. And then she has to call through and get a voicemail and leave a voice
zero. And the voicemail
is that in episode 4 or 5?
I think it's 5.
Then they leave, and they're like, we just need some space, Carol. We still like you. We just need some space. And that's because
that's when she sees that they're drinking a lot of milk. They're always seen drinking milk, and she goes and investigates why.
And then they find out that the milk stuff is not milk, but it's some weird product. And then she drives to Vegas because she knew the guy was going to go stay at the Elvis suite. Mm-hmm. And everybody leaves after the big party. The casino party, they all leave because they say Carol's coming, and we can't be around her. We can't be around her. And you want to know how they filmed that scene where she's driving down the main strip of Las Vegas and no cars are there, but the lights are on and everything, and she's doing the stoplights? They put like 12 cameras around the car, and then they drive down the street a few times, and as long as they get one shot with no car, with no people in the shot, they can use AI or whatever, and they can digitally alter it so it looks like nobody's in Las Vegas. So they didn't close the strip. They just did cameras, but it looks so real. You can tell when things are fake, when they're,
Sure.
and it's like, well, it looks real. So I thought when I watched the episode, I assumed they shut down Las Vegas somehow, and then they still kept the lights on. Nope.
Don't
But
they
then
have
the
on a
hotel,
marquee what
like,
suite
welcome.
he's in?
Yeah. It says like welcome Carol. And the hotel was the people that run the hotel were real nice and let the show in and stuff. And then they really stayed in Elvis's suite. And apparently Elvis's suite is haunted. And while they were filming it, they had scary things happen. Not scary, but they had like old but creepy
No.
stuff happen.
That is
Yeah.
so cool. Oh
Yeah.
God. Was that on the
Yes.
podcast? I got to
Yeah, it's
check
all
that.
on that podcast. You probably like it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then that's when you find out what they're eating. So we think being a pacifist is such a great thing. Like, I'm a nonviolent person. I try to live a nonviolent life. And you would think, well, they don't hurt anybody. When somebody's injured, they immediately take care of them. But then the way they eat is bananas, because they won't pick a fruit off a tree. They won't kill an animal. If it's already dead, if it's already made, they won't waste it. So they'll eat food that's already been made, but they're not going to take an apple. They'll only eat it if the apple falls from the tree. And so,
Right.
so Carol is like talking about the milk and the weird stuff in the milk, and that's what they're drinking for food. And the guy at the hotel goes, well, I know about that. And who tells them? Like, then Carol watches a video from John Cena, who is acting as the wee John Cena, and he does this big dialogue, and he explains that, oh yeah, because we forgot about this part. She found human remains in like a freezer.
She did, yeah. She found out they drank a lot of milk. She tracked down this dairy corporation where all these milk cartons are from, and she found this drink that isn't milk in the milk carton. And then she scans the bag that she got from the warehouse, and it took her to a warehouse where she found this very, very crazy discovery
of like limbs shrink wrapped and frozen.
And that's what they do with
the head that she holds up that's shrink wrapped is actually Vince Gilligan's.
I've heard that. I saw that before the show. Yeah.
That's cool. The creator. So that's what makes her drive to Las Vegas, because she's like, well, he's got to know this. And he's like, I already know about it. Here, watch this video from John Cena. And so John Cena explains.
You can't make this up.
John Cena explains that since they don't kill their food or pick a apple off a tree, they eat people that already died.
Yeah, right.
They put them in that liquid. They take all the food and they condense it into this liquid, and everybody drinks depending on how much they weigh. So he's saying how many he drinks, like 8 a day, 8 milk carton things a day. And he's like, we'd rather not eat humans.
Human derived protein.
So they call it HDP.
HDP. And so here's a thing that's going on too, is that the human race can't survive like this. They're running out of food that's already procured. They can't pick anything. They can't raise anything and slaughter it. So just off of this HDP, they're going to run out. They're looking at maybe 10 years left.
Yeah, this is what I thought was interesting. This guy that lives in the fantasy world that's staying at Elvis's suite is a smart person.
Sure.
He seems to be the smartest that we know of that is asking questions instead of just accepting it. It seems like a lot of the other few survivors have just accepted that this is the way life is going to be. But he starts asking questions, and he cares about them because he's really interacting with them, even though they're pretending to be whatever he wants. They seem to be happy about it. So he's like, Carol, they're going to die. So I'm trying to figure out how can we help them survive.
He has a great idea. Great idea.
Because he's like, I can do stuff and I can tell them to do stuff. Like, he's thinking, what can we do to save them? And then he figures out at the beginning, they're kind of like, they're working on a way to make sure these humans turn into we people too. And Carol's very worried about that. And that's the biggest reason why she's trying to solve this, is she doesn't want to turn into them.
Right.
And he says, all you have to do is say you do not consent to it, because they would have to do like a spinal tap and it'd be really painful. So she calls him up and she's like, I do not want that.
It's a stem cell thing. It's actually
stem cell. That's it.
That's through the hip bone. And these guys are very into consent. Because you remember when the French guy wanted to take one of he thought that Zosha was very attractive, and I want her to go with me, but she won't go with me unless you say it's okay.
You say it's okay. So yes,
Right.
consent is big for them. Again,
Consent,
nice,
and they're
good
happy.
yeah. But like as the show goes on, I never thought it was good. I'm a really big individualistic person. I want everybody to get to be them, but also participate in society and not hurt others, you know. But I'm really big on getting to be an individual. So I identify with Carol in the immediately seeing this is wrong type thing. I think I would be that way. But again, if my kids were the others, I might be different. But
there's only one other person that feels that way. You forgot about him.
Yes.
The guy that cussed her out from Paraguay.
Yes.
Yeah. Now
and
this
so
guy
he is even more scared of others than Carol. He won't even interact with them.
Right. He has one person in his life, and it's his mother. And you find out at the end of episode 6, he doesn't quite like her.
He doesn't like her. Yeah. So this version that acts like his mom is nice, and she's like, yeah, or he's like, yeah, you're not normally nice, so it doesn't affect me. But he won't take their food. He won't take their food.
And she knows that this guy from Paraguay can only watch things through a VCR. So they actually watch the videos, do nothing about it. They just kind of view it, but they share it to everybody.
They give him a videotape. They put it in Spanish because he doesn't speak English.
And the 11 people that Carol's met are pretty much done with her. I don't know if she's able to get back in this club. They meet Tuesdays and Thursdays.
On like a Zoom.
Right, and leave Carol out of it because of all the carnage she's caused.
And when Carol hears that, it really hurts her.
That was
lonely.
That's sad.
That's the thing that would get to me the most.
Yeah.
I think I would end up being around these others because I think I would not want to be alone every day.
Right.
Like that,
that's what I'm saying, right? Like she
really hit me
is
hard.
so hell bent on going this way to uncover it, to go back to normal. Why would you want to go back to the life that you've lived, right? I think she's going to turn around and she's going to find like a life in this. I really honestly do, because she wants things to be miserable again.
So that's a good question. So she's a very smart person. She's also really wants to be an individual because remember when she was young, her mom sent her to conversion therapy to try to get her to not be gay.
And then she said that everybody
they said they were the meanest, the cruelest people she ever met was at that conversion therapy camp type thing.
Right. But the thing is,
see why
they all outwardly are very much like these people too.
Yes. So they pretend to be nice.
That level right there, I felt a kinship to her.
Yes.
From that, because can you imagine going through a conversion therapy to get the gay off of you, like they would say, right?
Oh, my heart
Everybody
goes out
looks like the world that you live in.
Any human that's had that happen to you, I'm so sorry.
Thanks.
That sounds like it is so important that you be you.
Yeah.
Like it is so important. And when we don't let people be them, they start having mental health problems, and some of those people start being very cruel to other people. If we all could be ourselves, our authentic selves, there would be less crime, less violence, less hatred, less mental health problems. That's a big reason we have the problems we do, because we force people to be people they aren't. So it really hit me hard when she mentioned the conversion therapy.
When she mentioned the conversion therapy, and she said that everybody, all the counselors act like Zosha, or all the hive-minded people. Carol is living a nightmare. Every time it's just like, why does she hate these people so much?
So when they're coming up and they're being so nice to her and she is like very mad, it makes more sense. They want her in the hive mind. They want her individual personality gone.
And her wife was always that one that kept her on the straight and narrow, right?
So,
she just calmed her down. Like I think you're getting a little bit this way, you know.
So her wife was seemed like a very wonderful person who loved Carol so much, even though Carol was very negative. There is a flashback in maybe episode 3 or something where it shows Carol and her wife going on a trip. It's maybe
Norway. It's in Norway to look at the lights.
Hotel.
Yeah. Right.
And the ice hotel is freezing cold, but they get
probably shot in Norway, I bet.
No, it was shot in Arizona, and it was actually burning hot, and that was like styrofoam stuff.
I gotta listen to this podcast. That's awesome.
You gotta listen to this podcast. Isn't it cool?
Yeah.
I know the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
Definitely.
they were actually
Awesome.
hot and miserable, but it was so interesting because Carol was freezing and not having a good time, and her wife was thrilled, and they could sit in their hotel room made out of ice and look out the ice windows and see the northern lights. And she was like, she looks at it and she goes, "It looks like a screensaver."
Right.
And
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I have to admit, I don't want to go to ice hotel, Brice. I don't like the cold. So in this instance,
Yeah.
I would have also been like Carol. However, I probably would have done my best to fake it. Like
Yeah,
if I was with my
not only
husband
fake it,
and he
but
was so excited,
yeah,
his
she doesn't
happiness would have
embrace her
made me
circumstances
happy.
where she's at.
Yeah.
And the thing is that she just it makes sense why she can't conform to the circumstances when you find out about the conversion therapy
Yes.
thing. And I love that all is being revealed, like as the show goes, especially with that regard. Because I can't fathom that. I can't understand what it must be like. And the
but
whole.
I feel like Carol is not the most mentally fit, healthy person because we know she struggled with addiction,
Right.
and with drinking, and so she seems to be forgetful of one thing, and that is gratitude. She doesn't seem to have gratitude.
Mhm.
And like I think one of the themes of the show is, could Carol be happy anywhere? Because once you're seeing what it's like today in her world with the hive mind, she's lost her wife. Clearly, she's not happy. But when she had money, fame, her wife that she loved dearly, was she happy? No. And I think it really makes everybody step back and say, wait a minute. Maybe Carol should have been more grateful when she was at that ice hotel with her wife, and her wife is living one of her bucket list items. And maybe I should be too. Because in Carol's world, still the same problems as our world. We're still worried about the planet and the government and everything going on, and our lack of control with the things. But then compared to what she's got now, she had a lot. And so I like the show because it makes me realize I always got to practice gratitude. Always.
Sure.
You know, like my daughter woke up at 4 this morning throwing up, sick, missed school. That woke me up an hour and a half before I was going to get up. And what am I going to do? Yell at her and be mad at her? No, I'm going to love my child. And you know what? I'm grateful that she's not throwing up right now. She's watching a movie and she was able to eat a little food. So it's like, it's just.
I can imagine you yelling at your daughter for being sick for something like, that's why I laughed there. It's just like, I lost an hour of sleep for this.
Think about the narcissistic people that you know in your life, because like 1 in 10 are. 1 in 10 people are narcissistic. Think about them. They take every single negative situation and make it about them, and they're the victim. And Carol definitely has a little bit of that. She's not narcissistic, I don't think. And I think she's a moral person, but she's got some of that because she's not mentally healthy. And I really like the show zooming in on that. And I think we all could learn something, because our life could get a lot worse, and life is hard for everybody.
Well, the thing is that it's like a manufactured, don't think for yourself, think about what the collective happiness. And when the whole society is completely whitewashed in this way, there's no strive for anything. Like everything is just readily available, right? Everything is just So that's very interesting.
It's such a good point. When we get to be ourselves and individuals, when we have that freedom, some people use it for good. Some people use it to hurt others, hurt people. And then you get where we are today, where we're divisive and we're not getting along. But at the same time, we also have a lot of freedom in our country. Like, it's just interesting to be like, when you get the freedom, you also get the problems. And it's important to realize there is no version of a utilitarian life where it's not this collective you've lost your individualism. And I love that theme because it's just, it's messy. There's no right or wrong way to run a great society. There is no such thing as a perfect society. It's not going to happen because we are individuals.
Yeah, like seeing this is interesting because you're always in film and movies and books and things like that. You always see the light being shined on everybody's dying or everybody's miserable, and this is a dystopia from a utopia because it's shot from a perspective of someone who is on the fringes of that, who is someone who can't embrace happiness, who's very miserable, like intrinsically miserable, and what that would look like from that perspective. And it's almost like maybe happiness should be something that we strive to, and we shouldn't have like collectively and ultimately. Maybe happiness should be like that wine that you said that you're going to have on Friday that you worked Monday through Thursday to get, not 24/7, not mandated, not like there has to be a gain to get here, not just this is it. Now we're all happy. So what is even sadness, right?
I really like talking to Rich Genzero. He is also working to stop LifeWise, and I do a show with him. He's a Lutheran pastor, and he talks a lot about this, about what's the difference between everybody's doing Christian nationalism and we all have to act a certain way or it's a sin, and then what's the actual right moral way to do this in a Christian manner. And he's interesting because he's a Lutheran pastor. He calls out all the bad ways Christianity has been used to hurt people. He's very knowledgeable on that. And it's so interesting for him to be a pastor and be so willing to talk about it.
There's so many people that look at religion based off of what we see in the political thing, right?
Yes.
And if that's your gain on religion, I would be an atheist too. I absolutely would be. I don't understand why.
And so the difference between we morally do what's best when we can, we help each other out, we work together as the goal for the community. I call it community. Rich calls it fellowship. Mm-hmm. And then there's the LifeWise Christian nationalist take on this of everybody has to be this certain way, and it's fake utilitarian. What is it? The word? It's fake. You can't force people to be who they aren't. And that's in the real world. That's what Christian nationalism is trying to do. It's trying to make everybody fit into a mold that they don't fit into so that we can be peaceful, and it's not real. And I think that
really illuminates is like, is ignorance really bliss? I mean, do these guys even get to celebrate anything?
Yeah, right? Even though they seem so happy, they don't do happy things.
Right.
They don't stop and enjoy a good meal. They're drinking the most disgusting stuff with human stuff in it, cannibalism. And they're literally going to die in 10 years. You find out
the guy was hanging off of a light beam or something.
And he's like, it's okay, Carol.
It's okay, Carol. That
happens. and so I do really like the show because I like to compare it to what's going on now. And I just want everybody to realize what we think is peace is not when you're telling everybody to do the same thing.
Right.
But there is a version that's never going to be perfect and it's always going to be messy, where you put the community first. The majority of you put the community first, put children first, educate them better, take care of them. If there's people that are addicts, you get them care, you take care of them instead of treating them like criminals. And like, there's a better way to do things without taking away their identity. And it really questions, well, what is that society? What would be a better society? Because it's not this. It's not the collective hive alien takeover of human bodies, and they're only going to make it up to 10 years, so I just like thinking about it. And
well,
I think
we're a society, or we're humans. We understand conflict better than anything. It's almost like we have to have a good versus evil. We have to have a down in order for us to have an up. It's almost like it has to exist on that plane of existence. And the thing that this show is showing to me is just like, imagine if everything's so homogenized towards good, what would even be genuine, good-hearted, good-spirit fun? What would even be like fun is only fun if it comes from something dark, right?
Yes,
Otherwise,
that's a good point.
you need a contrary emotion. You need a
the guy that's living
thing.
his wildest dreams. How long is that going to be amazing?
Right. You know, and then again, it's like Carol's onto something. Is that like you're not going to be able to enjoy any of this?
Yeah, but she didn't enjoy it when she had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish there was a way
how do you
that
think this show's going to end? What do you got predictions? We got 7, 8 now. We have 3 more episodes.
I think the guy from Paraguay is going to be a huge wild card. I think he's bringing with him something.
He's a famous actor. He's from Colombia. He's a famous actor in Spanish stuff, by the way.
Okay. He does look familiar. Like I might have seen him in something before.
Oh, he seems like the nicest person. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to say too. The people that make this show, it's a lot of the same people in Vince Gilligan's world. They were on Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. That community is probably, I would say, the goal for the world, because all these creators, all these people come on the podcast and talk, and they all love their job. They love working for Vince Gilligan. They love the team. Everybody's really respectful and loving, and they all really care about the project. So they put their heart and soul into it. And I was just so appreciative of this environment. So those few hundred people that get to work on that show are really lucky. They know how to treat human beings.
There's nothing better than hearing about a very famous person who runs something, and you find out that their employees just absolutely love to work with that person.
That's what I found out with this show. The people that work on this show love working on the show, and you can tell because the show is phenomenal. So I kind of think the end is gonna be like, she's gonna use her powers to get the truth. They have really big faults. They can't lie. They can't not give her anything. They do what she asks, even though it's made it harder because they literally leave a city when she arrives. And then this one guy, she needs some more intelligence. So she's going to get one more person, the guy from Paraguay, to help.
Is that car going to make it though?
And they showed it being a few days ago. I think that's going to be Friday's episode. I think they're going to be
Friday's episode.
He has her address.
But that car is hanging by a thread though. Like he has to roll the start.
He needs to ask the others for things he needs, and he doesn't know how to do that yet. He did eat their food. Oh, would you eat? Yeah, he did. Didn't he? No, you're right. He didn't. He went back to his apartment and he ate the food.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's not trusting them at all. Even though she kind of said you can trust
him. With the rice that he was eating. Yeah.
Remember, okay, would you eat that dog food? That was the grossest scene for me. I was thinking about this yesterday. It made me think of it when I was feeding my cats. I think I would eat my cat's canned food before I ate that dog food. That dog food looked so gross.
You know, I talked with an Australian person one time, and she said that that their Alpo or whatever their dog food is actually not bad. So there's something about American dog food, I think, that is supposed to not be for humans.
Right.
Like I think the animals can eat.
I think it would make you sick.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I kept thinking. But maybe their version of dog food wasn't bad. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
Like, what's Paraguay's dog food like? Right. Yeah, I never thought of that. Yeah, they might be onto some dog food there. I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Maybe after this show ends, we could do follow up because there is going to be a season 2. I also found out there was a big bidding war for the streaming service that picked up this show. It wasn't always going to be an Apple show, and that they spent so much money making it. My husband just started watching it, so he's on like episode 2 now. So that's when I'll get to talk to him about it. Yeah, and so this show is called Pluribus. Debbie, thanks for commenting. And it's on Apple, and it's a really good show, and it offers some really interesting questions about life. So if you are also enjoying Pluribus, please put in the comments what you think, stuff we missed. We talked more plot than I realized we would, but it is a very confusing plot.
It is. So. Well, the thing that I've noticed about the show is that if you're into, like, let's just say you watch, your favorite shows are West Wing, The Newsroom, Studio 60, The Morning Show. If you like those shows, a lot of dialogue, I love them. They're great. you will not be into this show if you're expecting that.
Yeah.
This
Well, I
show
love
has
The
many,
Diplomat, and
right?
that's not this, but I love this. If you like Severance, if you
Yes,
like really well thought out, interesting life moral questions, but then like
Black
even
Mirror,
if you're not into sci-fi, it's just so good how the show is made. You know, it
Black
looks like
Mirror
they're on
too. If
Air
you like
Force
Black
One.
Mirror, Black
Yeah.
Mirror is this is your show too, because Black Mirror really challenges the philosophical of the scientific. It
And I
really
didn't watch Breaking Bad. That was too dark for me, but this isn't too dark for me. So
it's
I
not very
just
related in my opinion. I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
I think they're completely different, which
I
is
really
great.
like Carol's character. I hope that she learns gratitude because you can tell
Right.
that's been making her miserable her whole life. And she's also had a rough life.
Yeah.
But also she's living it up. She's making good money. She has a really fancy house. She had a partner that she loved. Why wasn't she happy? And it
Yeah.
was just because she was writing stuff that she felt was like beneath her. And I'm kind of like, if she would have just embraced that, like I've seen actors that are only famous for one movie embrace it. The Karate Kid guy,
Yeah.
he's
Right.
embraced it
Right.
and
Jeff
lived a
Bridges.
very fulfilling life. You know what I
Jeff
mean?
Bridges for The Big Lebowski. Jeff Bridges, in my opinion, is one of the greatest American actors.
Yeah, embrace the fandom.
He
And
embraced The Big Lebowski, Jeff Lebowski. Like people ask him to do the dude, and he's fine with it. Like if
yeah,
that's what he's
that's what
known
I
for,
mean.
yeah.
It brings other people joy. And if you can get to a place where that makes you happy, do it instead of faking it. Carol was faking acting like she liked to be around her fans when really she thought they were beneath her. And I just think that's not a fun way to be. To don't be like you're above other people. Don't allow yourself that because really she makes thousands and thousands of people happy with her books. The others say that to
Right.
her. You made so many
But
people
she's
happy
always
with your
looking at
books.
like, is my real content good? And when she finds out her wife lied to her about her book, God, that was pretty hard to take. Actually, you know, it was like,
I predicted that in my head because
yeah.
you could just see, well, they want to make her happy, so let her make the book. Oh, hi, Kitty. They want to
His
make
name's
the
Doug. Yeah.
hi, Doug. And
Yeah, Doug.
so they
Doug
let
was
her.
famous.
They were gonna let her write that book that people probably weren't gonna like. But like,
Right.
yeah, like I think that's a good life lesson. If you do something that makes people happy, but you don't particularly love it, but you make a living off of it, can you embrace it so that you're happy?
Well, the
It's
thing is that if I go into this hive mind, I'm not gonna have anything to miss or anything like that. I'm just gonna be. I won't have an original thought. I'll know everything, and I won't
that's
be
so
able to enjoy
creepy.
it. That's the thing. Is like why I wouldn't want to have this hive mind is because I won't be able to enjoy anything. Is learning, is doing, is gaining something, losing something. I mean, is it worth it if you can't react to it?
That's
Is it
such a
worth
good question.
is it worth it if you can't really do anything about it emotionally?
Like
Like,
I work, yeah, you're so asking such good questions. Like I do a lot in one day. I'm like super busy, but then I also drop all my Project Next stuff, all my community service, all my running for state office stuff, and I pay attention to my children. And
mhm,
it's made me appreciate the mundane chores that I have to do every day for my children.
mhm.
And then when I get those hugs or those sweet words, it's like I'm learning to appreciate that more, and I just want everybody to do that because it makes my life so much better. Like me being able to take that hug, you know, to take the sweet, sleepy hug in the morning from my children, to just, instead of being like, oh, I'm so busy, just be like, oh, absorb. This is the best part of my day. Like, I just, that's my biggest takeaway from the show. Gratitude. Our life is hard. If it wasn't hard, we wouldn't appreciate the good, like you said, and to appreciate the good, and also to realize we don't control everything. We can't control everything. So when
Yeah.
things happen that are out of control, how can we handle it the best way? Life is hard. Let's work together.
And the thing is, Carol no longer has anyone to check how she feels. She's feeling everything all at once. She doesn't have a filter of it. Everything's
Yeah. Besides the Paraguay guy that they'll probably work together.
Who
The
doesn't
only
speak the
person
same language as
they
her.
don't,
That's going to be
yes,
interesting.
right. That'll be interesting. The only other person that will talk to her is the guy in Vegas living it up.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else wants to speak to her. They're doing a Zoom without her, and she's really hurt by that. So I think we need to remember our life, it has value, and it's really important that we include people in that. We can't push them all away. How lonely that would be.
Do you think she'll join? I think she might join.
Join the 12, join
I
the Zoom.
well, if you think about it, she's either going to join or die.
I think you're right. I
Close
think
to
she's
that.
going to have to learn to like say sorry to them, because
Yeah.
they're all upset at things she's done.
Mm-hmm.
Can she say sorry, and can she be more accepting of who they are? Like, because she's very judgy. She's judging the crap out of them because they're not like her. And that's one of the reasons they don't want to be around her.
So here's the thing that I'm curious about. Just some things that I'm wondering if they mean anything. They always show the time that it's been
Yes.
since.
The
What
time
is that
before
going to
it
mean
hit,
something? Do
the
they have a
time when it
finite
hit.
amount of time? Yeah. This is
Yeah, I'm
12 days.
excited for how it's going to end. I wonder how many seasons they've got planned,
Uh-huh.
what it's going to be. I think this show's going to be going on for years. I'm guessing more people are going to be talking about Pluribus because this is a very unique, outstanding show. So it should be hitting big. I think we should do a part 2 when the show ends to talk about the rest of it. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun, Brice. Let me know. Text me other things when we find a
But here's
matchup
the
of
thing,
stuff
right?
that we
We
both
are
love.
assuming we are well, real quick. We are assuming. Yeah, but one quick thing. We're assuming that these race of Pluribus, like the hive mind, is that the only thing that exists? I mean, come on now. Like maybe there's something out there in the far reaches of the galaxy that is at war with this
Yeah,
type of race
that's
or
true.
whatever.
And
And
like,
what's the main hive?
why are they, and I get why it seems like the reason they came to Earth is because they only last so long in a
Mm-hmm.
civilization because of their code, because they can't kill
Mm-hmm.
anything or hurt anything, so they only last so long. But yeah, is there something else? The show could get more sci-fi, or it could stay more Carol. I kind of think it's going to stay more Carol, just
I think
based on
it'll
stuff
say
I've
more
heard about
Carol.
Vince.
Yeah.
Vince, if he does, like, he didn't know a lot about the drug industry, so he didn't go
Right.
into it a lot. So since I don't think he's super into the sci-fi planet stuff,
Right.
but we'll find out about it secondhand somehow.
Did you ever see The Leftovers?
No.
Okay, so The Leftovers, the premise on The Leftovers is that like I think 10% of the population disappears. Right? And then it's all about the fallout. Nobody finds out at all. You're watching it, you're thinking 3 seasons, and we still have no idea why everybody's disappeared. And you don't. And
Interesting.
that's not the point of the show. Maybe this show goes down that rabbit hole of like, let's just explore what we have and go through it that way.
I also think her and the Paraguay guy could figure out how to get the humans to come back. And it could be interesting if it's more humans, but still it's only like 20 of them, maybe it's just a handful of them that they've been able to get. Like, they could do a lot with it. And I also don't think they have the show fully planned out, just because of,
well, I was about to ask that
I don't think they
if
have
they
it
wrap
planned
things up in the first season, just in case it doesn't get greenlit for a second.
It's already greenlit for season
Oh,
2.
really?
I believe they're already working on it.
He's Apple TV threw a bag at Vince for this show, and I love that.
Yeah. So it will be a season 2, but I think it'll take a while. Yeah. Okay, you finish reading Murderbot, so we can do a Murderbot show.
We'll have to.
That's on Apple too, and it's Alexander Skarsgård. For those of you that like that actor. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, he's awesome. I am coming down to the wire, so
thanks for doing this. And then I'm doing an open house for Project Next in Floyd Knobs today, so I'll be putting some pictures out on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok about that. So be looking for that tomorrow. I think Tim is doing 1 or 2 shows tomorrow. Friday I might be doing a show, and then we got lots coming. And don't forget, if you want Project Next merch, go to Hey Elmer /Project Next. and you can get hats, shirts, all kinds of stuff. We are growing. It's awesome. Brice, it's really nice to meet you in person.
You too, Sarah. This is
Thanks
great.
for the good work you do with LifeWise. Hopefully we can get hundreds and hundreds more working with us down here. We need it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.